Hey y'all, Ray here, my second YouTube video. And before I get started, I just want to, say thank you to everyone that watched my first video about the Cold Python. I really appreciate all the views, comments, all the likes, the subscribes. Thank you so much. And I think, you know what? I'm gonna try and keep making videos. I'll try to release one every other week. And today I have a treat for you guys. This right here is the Springfield 1911 DS Prodigy. It's a double stack 1911. I know a lot of people refer to these as a 2011, but I think Staccato coined that term, so other companies can't use it freely. Yeah. So I was actually trying to make a video earlier, but I jacked my thumb up, so I had to get a bunch of stitches. So no one wants to see a hand with a bunch of stitches all over it. But yeah, this just got released at the beginning of this month, about 2 weeks ago. And when you purchase this, it comes with this bag, 2 magazines, and it's a double stack 1911. It comes with a 17 round magazine and a 20 round magazine. And you do have the ability to go on Springfield's site, and they have actually 26 round magazines available. I saw the pictures. It looks pretty ridiculous, but why not? That's awesome. Whoops, sorry, the wife kicked me out and I had to move to another room. So what else comes in the box? You get this wrench. So the guide rod on this is actually a 2-piece full-length guide rod. So to kind of take it apart, to fuel strip it, you require this wrench. And I'll go over that in the breakdown video when I go clean this firearm. And just for safety check, no magazine, and we are clear. And also I have this resting on just a typical 1911 bushing tool. And finally, you get this. So this is an optics plate. It's for the what is it for? It's for the Hex Dragonfly. And Springfield calls this their AOS system. So they partnered up with Agency Arms to create this. You can see that this is milled for an optic, and the rear sight is built into it and it's dovetailed, so you can always switch it out if you want to. Sorry, trying to work this camera and play around with the firearm at the same time. But the idea is that you can just kind of swap these in and out with each other, and they'll release more plates, I believe, in the beginning of October. And you can just plop this on and put on your red dot. I believe they're going to make one for the RMR and the Acro as well, which is amazing. I like having the option to put on a red dot, but I prefer just typical iron sights. But it is nice. It has a rear sight built into it, like I said before, and the Prodigy actually utilizes. Let me put my skin right in front of it so you can see. But it has a U-notch sight, which Wilson Combat is a huge advocate for. And the one that comes with it, let me try to line it up, has a U-notch sight as well, which picks up really well with that fiber optic front. Okay, and so if you guys don't know, I'm a revolver and 1911 fanatic. The only problem that I had with the two was round capacity, so I would never carry it. Let's see. Let me see. Where's my Python? This baby. This is my favorite gun, but this is coming into a close second. I'm kind of confused and lost right now. I don't know what to do with myself. For revolvers, my favorite caliber is 357 Magnum, which is what this is. 357s can shoot 38 specials. But usually, typically 357 Magnums, they only have a 6-round capacity. What's it called? Smith & Wesson released a 686 Plus, which can hold one more to 7, but still. And for 1911s, they typically hold, 8+1. Usually they have an 8-round magazine. And you have one in the chamber. I mean, they do make 10-round magazines as well. Let me see. Where did I put that? Boom. So this is a Kimber Custom 2. Showing you that it's clear. Ooh, gotta get used to that. Forgot. I was spoiled with this. This thing's just butter. I'll get into that later. But, like I was saying before, typically the 1911, the original 1911, they typically hold a 8+1. It's an 8-round magazine. Also, if you are thinking about getting a normal 1911, I mean, it's totally worth it still. Pop it up. And this is what this bushing tool is for. It's actually for this Kimber, which is too big. Okay, never mind. Get this magazine. Bam. I mean, if you are thinking about getting a original design 1911 single stack, I mean, Wilson Combat, they just make the best magazines. And then, 1911s are very magazine picky. I mean, they do have the 10-round magazine. So if you plop this in here, kind of sticks out a lot. I mean, it looks good. I love the look. But if you try to conceal carry this, this thing just hits on your pelvis all the time. And also still 10 rounds. That's kind of still on the low side. I mean, the 1911 is definitely a proven platform. And the design's over 100 years old. John Moses Browning, he's the one who designed this. That dude's a genius. And still to this day, the 1911 trigger. And if you don't know, 1911, they actually have a grip trigger as well. So if you try to pull the trigger without having this depressed, it's not going to work. But the trigger, so crisp. I mean, this is the gold standard. But again, the round capacity. But if you wanted to get a double stack 1911, what some people call 2011s, like the Staccato XC, which I was actually trying to save up for. I think that thing starts around like 4,300, and like Atlas Gunworks' Artemis, I think that thing goes for like 6,200 or something like that. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, they're all custom shop guns. That was the only way that you could get a double stack 1911 in the past. Until this. I mean, this Prodigy is a game changer. I mean, we now, for the first time ever, have a mass-produced double stack 1911. And this thing goes for MSRP of $14.99. I picked this one up at my local gun store. I was so thankful that they got these in. I picked this one up for like $1,200. Totally worth it. So spoiler alert. I mean, overall, I think that this gun is 100% worth it. I mean, it looks good. It shoots good. I mean, it's functional. I mean, 17+1, 20+1. I mean, I think this is just gorgeous. Beautiful, beautiful. So, let me tell you a little bit about this beauty. So the frame, it's a polymer grip module. So, I mean, that's significant in itself because, I mean, also that's how they got so many magazines that hold so many rounds in there. So typically, your normal 1911, there's no separate grip module. The frame is all just kind of one giant piece of steel. And there's kind of a nice beauty factor to that idea, but yeah, but single stack. So now for these new 1911s, double stack 1911s, Staccato calls them 2011s. This grip module is actually a separate piece from this frame itself. So the slide and the frame, they're both forged stainless steel. And this grip, I was kind of skeptical at first. Let me try and get a close look on it, because it's like really, really smooth. Like right now it's like slippery. It's like really, really fine sandpaper. Springfield calls this their adaptive grip. It's the same one that's found on the Hellcat Pro. But I thought that this thing wasn't gonna grip at all. But when I actually took it out to the range to shoot, man, just with every shot, it just held. I mean, yeah, as you hold it more and more, it just grips better. And the more recoil there is, it just grips better. I mean, I love it. But on the back, I mean, where the mainspring housing is, it's like your typical 1911. So no change there. I mean, I'm not complaining about it. I love it. And I think kind of adds a kind of a cool factor to the firearm itself. It has your extended beaver tail grip safety. So that's nice. You can get high and tight. We already talked about this optics cut. It has a Picatinny rail. It actually has 5 slots. This thing here is just for, there aren't too many holster options for it right now. And I don't really walk around with the light. And then all the, you know, functional cases that I like all require like a Surefire X300. But this actually just goes to a Blackhawk Omnivore. Let me pull it out real quick for you guys. Here we go. Yeah, so you know, this case, if your firearm has a Picatinny rail, then this case will hold pretty much any firearm, because you know, you just put this on it, and this thing will attach right in there and holster it right for you, nice and secure. And then the only way to release it is press this thumb release, and then here you go. So yeah, that's what this is for. Let's see, what else can I say about this? We talked about the sights, U-notch sight, fiber off the front, picks up the light, amazing, love it. And it has your skeletonized trigger and trigger and hammer. Looks nice. It has a Cerakote finish. I mean, it's not like a diamond-like coating finish like kind of the 2011s have, but you know, it looks great, and it seems to be functional. I love it. Let's see, some impressions. This thing does not like to be lip rested. When I actually first got this, I had kind of 2 things I didn't like about it. One was on the barrel link, there's these scratch marks. So I was like, what? I just picked this up for $1,500 and there's a scratch mark on it? And then the other thing was that if you kind of, you know, first, this is amazing. This is beautiful. It's just butter compared to the standard. This is really, it's tough. It's rough. It's heavy. They got a really heavy recoil spring up in there. It takes a little bit of muscle. And you can still do everything that you need to, but it's just, this thing is just butter. That's so smooth. But if you kind of rack it slowly, it'll get hung up. See that? And what I found was that it was getting hung up on that disconnector right there. So let me, and you know, the disconnector is for the trigger. So I'm gonna pull the trigger right now. And you can see it move, the disconnector. So when I get hung up and I hold that trigger, it'll stay there without the side catch actually in place. So actually, when I first got this, if I did this, it would actually stay there without me pulling the trigger at all and would just hang. But after about maybe, so far I shot about 600 rounds through this. But after around like 250 to 350, I mean, it got a lot smoother. So, you know, this firearm does require a break-in period. But yeah, those are the two really only bad things that I experienced, or they're not even really that bad. When I first got it, when I first took it out to the range, me and my buddy, we were trying to, but we heard that there was a lot of failure to feed issues on this. So we were trying to see if we could kind of reproduce that. And honestly, we could not. And then eventually we finally were able to within the first, I think, 200 rounds that we shot. And it was because we limp wristed it. So this gun does not like to be limp wristed. But, you know, limp wristing it, I think we got like 6 failure to feed total out of like 200 shots, which is nothing. I mean, that's not bad. And now it doesn't do it anymore. But man, this thing just shoots really, really flat. I mean, I love it. And this is 1911, so it's, you know, it's very pointable. Let me see if I can get that lined up for you. And this thing just shoots straight. And that trigger is amazing. Love it, love it. Let me, actually, while we're talking about the trigger, let me get my trigger gauge out. So a lot of people were reporting that their Prodigies had a 4.5 to 5 pound trigger. And also a lot of them were reporting that with the safeties, they had wiggly safeties. Whatever batch I got, I mean, the safety's in there. It's secure. It's nice. One thing I forgot to mention was that the side catch, this thing is like flush with the frame. So when you try to disassemble it, it's a bit of a pain. And then I know some people also, you know, they had issues with being able to get the slide release. I have extra large hands, so that's not a problem for me. Actually, this is like the perfect location for me. I never had a firearm that felt like this in my hand before. Typically, whenever I shoot a firearm, actually I'll get into that later. We were talking about the trigger right now, but you know, most people reported a 4.5 to 5 pound trigger, but mine actually came in at, and I'm trying to do this in front of the camera, at 3 pounds, a little under 4 pounds. Let me do it again. At some instances, I had it even lower than 3.5 pounds. All right, my left hand manipulations. Do it again. 3 pounds, 7.8 ounces. All right, last one, just for good measure. No, I did that wrong. I accidentally hit it with my finger. Let me delete that. The real last one. Okay. Well, you know what? Consistently, it's been coming around 3.5 pounds. That can't be right. Let me do that again. Hold up. Sorry, I'm trying to do this in front of the camera. All right, I'm gonna ignore the camera and try and do this correct. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's more accurate. Yeah, but you know, 3 pounds, 1.6 ounces. I mean, yeah. Mine has consistently been at 3 pounds and something ounces. So, and I can feel it at the range. I'll put on a clip for you guys that I took on at the range, but you know, this thing shoots really, really flat. I mean, I know that people say that the gun doesn't make you a better shooter, but you know, this one, honestly, it does. It allowed me to try different types of techniques, forms, grips, kind of prove theories, you know, and actually try them out. And it helped me become it helps me become a better shooter. And also one thing that I noticed was when my buddy was shooting it, the ejection pattern is very very consistent. It always ejected around the same spot. So that was something that I noticed. And like first shots, I mean, this thing was so pointable. I think I started out at the 15-yard. I was getting mixed up because this guy next to me, like he literally tried to like one up me all the time. Like when I move my target, he'll move it like 5 yards away further. My first shot, 15 yards. I mean, the groupings were great. It shot a little bit high, so it took a little bit used to getting to for me. I got used to it. I mean, it shot great. And even at the 20-yard, I was able to kind of hit my target and try and get in the area that I want to get into. I mean, all in the A zone, which was awesome. But yeah, I'll make sure I get those clips for you. So, all right. So actually, I'll plop in the recording of me actually taking the gun apart after range day. Before I was about to clean it. And then Hey y'all. All right, so just got back from the range. So you know what? Try and kill two birds with one stone. I'm gonna, while I clean it, I'm gonna shoot disassembling the firearm. All right, just so that make sure we are safe. We are all clear. All right, and then to disassemble it, so this is a full-length 2-piece guide rod. So what I'm gonna do is just gonna give it a quick little half turn. Oops, sorry, I'm trying to do this in front of the camera. All right, give it a quick little 1 or 1.5 turns, just like any other 1911. Just gonna line this little half moon with my slide catch. I'm just gonna push it from the other side when it's all lined up. Okay, and this thing is so flush that's really difficult to kind of get it out with your hands. So I'm just gonna pop it out. The wrench, there we go. So that's out. And just like any other 1911, just gonna pull my slide forward. All right, that's it. There's the frame and grip. And now from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to completely unscrew this guide rod. And now this is going to be under spring tension, so make sure that you hold on to it. But you can see here as I unscrew it, that right here, that's where that point is, where it unscrews. Sorry, getting confused with the camera. All right, here we go. So I'm going to unscrew it all the way. While holding tension. But you see that I was trying to pop out already. All right, when it's unscrewed, there's that. You can see that this thing just wants to pop right out. All right, so I'm gonna take out the recoil spring. Ooh, it's dirty. Look at that. And I'm just gonna push my barrel length forward. And I'm just gonna slide out the barrel just like any other 1911. Oh, but before I do that, this one actually has a sleeve. Take my sleeve out, and then I'll take my barrel out. So, that's how you take apart the Prodigy. All right, well, that's it for this segment. I'm gonna get to cleaning. All right, so the real me is back. Well, you know, that sums up my thoughts on the Prodigy. One thing that I did forget to mention, that reminded me when I was watching the cleaning video was I forgot to mention the barrel. So this thing has a ginormous match gray bull barrel. Let me bring out and this one's a 45, the original 1911. And this firearm is really front heavy. If you try to balance it, it just tips forward. I mean, which I'm sure plays a huge part into it, why it shoots so flat. And when I tried to take out the barrel link, it was impossible to take it out with my oily hands, only using my oily hands. So I had to use that wrench to kind of punch it out. And I'm pretty sure that that's what the tester did at Springfield when they were testing this firearm. So that's why it got so scratched up. So, you know, after, you know, I disassembled it and I realized that I wasn't so upset about it. But, you know, you guys, overall, whoever's watching this video, I mean, this firearm, I mean, first ever produced double stack 1911. I mean, this thing's a game changer. I mean, I highly recommend it. I don't think you'll regret it. I mean, this is the 5-inch barrel model. It does come in a 4.2-inch as well. So, you know, shorter slide. So probably means that, you know, I have a shorter track that needs to go back and forth on. So I'll probably track faster. It'll probably be a little bit more racier. But, you know, this one, you know, I feel like it's kind of like your do-it-all gun. You can conceal it if you really want to. I'm 6'4". I mean, I got extra large hands. I mean, my whole hand can cover this gun up. I mean, you can, you know, go competition with it. I plan on actually going to a bullseye competition in November, a local one. Yeah, I highly recommend it. It's awesome. Also, something I forgot to mention was that the trigger guard in the front also has a little stippling right there. But this is the first firearm that I can actually shoot with the normal grip like everyone else. I'm tip up big just because of my hand size. I normally kind of like sloth every gun. For example, this is my 320X carry. Usually, I kind of sloth grip it like Lena Michalik. But she got small hands. I got big hands. So I do it for the exact opposite reason that she does it. But yeah. Oh, also one thing was the magazine. There's really no beveling. But you know, the back and then the front is a little bit curved. And the tip of this magazine is like a single stack 1911. This is a gigantic hole. I mean, you should have no issues getting this thing in there. And also, if you look at right here, it is a pronounced magazine release. But once it clicks in, it's a little bit more pronounced. That thing just shoots right out. But hey, thank you so much for watching this video, you guys. I really appreciate your support. And I'm gonna try and keep, you know, producing a video every other week, or latest every 3 weeks. But thank you so much. Especially, you know, that my first video, the Colt Python, that was so encouraging, you guys. Thank you so much. And I really hope you enjoyed this, and then I really hope that you got some sort of value out of this. Let me just do a little quick 360 for you guys. Yeah, I mean, this is nice. And it looks like in the future, they might do some sort of like flared magwell attachment. These slide slurations are just thebomb.com. This is awesome. But thank you for watching my second ever YouTube video. I appreciate y'all. All right, out.